Turn down the lights, grab a blanket, and maybe some popcorn. It's time to settle in for the spine-tingling terror of the night of La Segua. In the small, secluded village of San Antonio, nestled deep in the mountains of Central America, the legend of La Segua was whispered from generation to generation. The locals spoke of her as a beautiful woman cursed for her vanity and wickedness. She appeared to men on lonely roads at night, her face hidden beneath a veil, only to reveal the monstrous, skeletal visage of a horse when it was too late. One evening, Alejandro, a young and proud rancher, found himself returning home after a long day of work. The sun had dipped below the horizon, and the full moon bathed the winding dirt road in an eerie silver glow. As Alejandro rode his horse through the silent woods, he thought of the stories his grandmother used to tell him about La Segua. He chuckled to himself, dismissing them as nothing more than superstitions. But as he rounded a bend, Alejandro saw her, a woman standing alone by the side of the road. Her long, dark hair cascaded down her back, and her figure was slender, draped in a flowing white dress. She seemed lost, or perhaps waiting for someone. Alejandro slowed his horse, unable to resist the urge to approach her. "Señorita, are you all right?" he called out. The woman turned to face him, her veil covering her features. "I am lost, mister," she replied in a soft, melodious voice. "Could you perhaps guide me to the nearest village?" Alejandro's heart quickened. Her voice was mesmerizing, and there was something enchanting about her presence. He dismounted and offered her a hand. "Of course, it would be my pleasure." She took his hand, her grip surprisingly cold. As they walked side by side, Alejandro found himself captivated by her every word. The forest around them seemed to grow darker, the trees closing in like the walls of a labyrinth. A cold breeze rustled the leaves, carrying with it a scent of decay that Alejandro could not place. "You must be tired, señorita," he said. "Perhaps you would like to rest at my home?" The woman stopped and turned to him. "I would like that very much," she whispered. "But first, I must show you something." Before Alejandro could react, she lifted her veil. His breath caught in his throat as he stared into the face of horror. Her beautiful features melted away, replaced by the grotesque, grinning skull of a horse. Her eyes were empty sockets, her skin was a rotting, leathery membrane stretched tight over bone. Alejandro stumbled backward, his heart pounding with terror. He tried to run, but his legs felt as if they were mired in mud. La Segua moved closer, her skeletal jaw snapping open and then shut with a sickening crunch. Her laughter echoed through the trees, a sound that chilled Alejandro to the bone. Desperate, he tried to mount his horse, but the animal, sensing the presence of the supernatural, reared up and bolted into the night, leaving Alejandro to face La Segua alone. "You thought you could escape me," she hissed, her voice now a guttural rasp. "No man can resist my curse." With a final, blood-curdling scream, La Segua lunged at Alejandro. He felt her icy breath on his neck, her skeletal hands closing around his throat. The world spun around him, and the last thing he saw was the gaping maw of the creature as it consumed him, body and soul. The next morning, Alejandro's horse was found grazing by the road, but there was no sign of the young rancher. His disappearance was the subject of much gossip in the village, and many believed that La Segua had claimed yet another victim. The villagers whispered prayers and avoided the roads at night, fearing that they might be next. But some said that if you ventured into the woods on a moonlit night, you could still hear Alejandro's screams, carried on the wind, as La Segua dragged him into the darkness, forever cursed to wander. That's the conclusion to our terrifying story of La Segua. If you enjoy this scary tale and would like more content like this, shoot me a message in the comments, and like it, love it, and subscribe to it. I've added in the folklore and cultural references for some insightful background on La Segua. Folklore and info. In the heart of Costa Rica, amidst the lush landscapes and vibrant culture, the legend of La Segua serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of deceit and betrayal. This tale, deeply rooted in the country's folklore, intertwines elements of indigenous and Spanish traditions, reflecting the cultural syncretism that characterizes much of Latin American history. The legend of La Segua. The story of La Segua originates in Cartago, the oldest Spanish settlement in Costa Rica, dating back to 1563. It tells of a beautiful woman of mixed Indian and Spanish descent. Her striking appearance, with pale skin, jet black eyes, and long flowing hair, captivating many, including a charming Spanish officer. Despite her family's strict moral code, she fell for his advances only to be abandoned when he returned to Spain. Heartbroken and disgraced, she was cursed to roam the lonely roads as a terrifying apparition. La Segua appears to unsuspecting men as the beautiful woman she once was, luring them with her enchanting looks and siren-like voice. However, once they succumb to her allure, she reveals her true form, a monstrous figure with a horse skull for a head, fiery eyes, and a breath of decay. This transformation serves as a dire warning to men against infidelity and excessive drinking, reinforcing societal norms and gender roles within the context of Costa Rican culture. Cultural significance. La Segua is more than just a ghost story. It is a cultural artifact that reflects the values and social structures of Costa Rican society. The legend warns against promiscuity and infidelity, serving as a cautionary tale for both men and women. For men, it is a reminder to remain faithful and avoid the temptations that might lead them astray. For women, it underscores the importance of maintaining virtue and resisting the advances of deceitful men. Moreover, the tale of La Segua highlights the blending of indigenous and colonial influences, a common theme in Latin American folklore. The character of La Segua, with her indigenous roots and colonial experiences, embodies the complex identity of Costa Rica, where different cultural elements coexist and interact. Modern interpretations. Today, La Segua continues to be a popular figure in Costa Rican culture, inspiring various artistic expressions, including literature and film. Her story is a staple of Costa Rican folklore, often recounted during gatherings and celebrations. The legend also finds its way into modern media, such as craft beers named after her, reminding locals and visitors alike of the rich tapestry of stories that shape Costa Rican identity. In essence, La Segua is a powerful narrative that transcends its ghostly origins, offering insights into the cultural and historical fabric of Costa Rica. It serves as a reminder of the enduring power of folklore to convey moral lessons and preserve cultural heritage. And that's a wrap on the chilling tale of La Segua. I hope you found the story as spine-tingling as the AI animations that brought it to life. If you enjoyed it, be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more hair-raising adventures. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day.